Right, welcome back to the Me, Myself, and Hopefully You podcast. I'm your host, Tariq, a 19-year-old university student currently experiencing a midlife crisis. Why, you might ask? Because I've got no idea what I want to do with my life. So rather than see a therapist, I decided to start a podcast where I interview guests from around the world to discover more about them. And hopefully by learning about them, I can learn a bit about myself too. So if you're interested, or maybe you can relate, then join me right here on Sunday every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time hails from the beautiful country of Argentina. He was born with an extremely rare heart condition, and despite surviving the operation, he was told never to do any form of extreme exercise again. Because of this, he gained a load of weight and became extremely unhappy. But then he decided to start running a little against doctor's orders, and he hasn't stopped since, completing five half marathons. Please join me in welcoming the unbelievably inspiring and the man who's probably aged better than anyone I've ever met, Diego Varela.
Right, so Diego, I just want to start off by asking you some quick fire questions, just so my audience can sort of get to know you a bit better. The first question I want to ask you is, what is the last photo that you have on your camera roll?
Last photo, I think it's my daughter.
It's your daughter.
She was around here, but she likes photographs, and I like to take her photographs.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
I take the pictures to her.
Yeah. So she enjoys getting her photograph taken. Yeah.
Loads of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she aspires like being a model or whatever, but she poses and she shows her. Yeah. Vanity is on her side.
Brilliant. How old is your daughter?
5.
Oh, okay. Oh, my sister's 6, so just slightly younger. What's her name?
Julieta.
Julieta.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful name. That Argentinian name, yeah.
Argentinian name. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
it works here as well, but it's mostly Argentinian.
Brilliant. My next question is, who would you consider as your role model?
Role model?
Hmm.
Probably a couple of people from work. I get a lot of inspiration there.
Okay, but I'm going to push you for what you can only pick one person, the number one person.
Well, it has to be known, or can it be people that I?
You want. Yeah, it can be whoever you want.
Well, like pretty much Sam Moses. You don't know him. I do. It's a person that I work with.
Oh, okay. And why is he your role model?
I think he handles a lot of things that in terms of the personal side that I learned a lot from him.
All right. Okay.
I learned a lot in terms of how interacting and with people, taking care of people, growing people in the professional side. I think that I took a lot from him.
Is he a really good leader then? Yeah.
Yeah, he has his flaws, but the overall, I think he's a great person.
Oh, okay, brilliant. And so my final quick fire question is, if there was a house fire and you could everyone was saved, so every person was saved, but you could only save one item or thing, what would that item be?
That was a tough question. I know.
Yeah,
probably,
everyone finds that one the hardest. Yeah.
Probably my green card.
Your green card. Yeah, that's quite important in America. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I think it would be that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my family first, and then probably
then
documentation second.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I've had some similar answers. A few podcast episodes before, I had someone who said their passport because they've traveled all over the world, and they said, without my passport, I can't do anything. So yeah, it's a similar answer. So Diego, why don't you introduce yourself a little to the audience?
My name is Diego Varela. I'm 46 years old, born and raised in Argentina. After about 30 years, I moved to England. I lived about a couple of years there. Then I got back to Argentina. And now I'm living in San Francisco Bay Area about almost 6 years ago. 6 years. I've been traveling all around for work and for leisure. And I'm working on the IT area since I can remember actually. And I'm very blessed to uh, achieve what I could achieve on all these years. And very happy also to be here in this interview.
Mhm. Thank you very much. 46. I would not have guessed 46 years old, Diego.
Yeah, I am.
You
I
look
am.
you look very good for 46.
Well,
I would have said 30, not 46.
no, no,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that I am 46, and actually next month I'm going to be 47. So
You'll be
yeah.
47. Wow. I think
Mhm.
I think you're older than my dad. Yeah, you might.
Probably, yeah, it works.
Wow. I genuinely wouldn't have expected 40, 46, or definitely not 47. I was going to say like around 30, but I mean, fair enough. I mean, one thing that you sort of missed out or that you didn't mention there, and sort of the main thing that I want to ask you about is you were born with a heart condition, yeah?
Yes.
And so what was that heart condition?
So basically, every regular person born with four cavities in the heart, well, I'm born with three, and that this first of all, I'm not a doctor. Second, what I can say right now, um, I'm limited on what I understood that's being explained to me. So don't take this as a
Hmm.
professional consideration, right?
Yeah,
So
this isn't a doctor's office, guys. This is
no,
just
okay.
Diego
So
having a chat.
just making a disclaimer there. So yeah, I'm born with three cavities that produce a massive mess in terms of oxygen in the blood. Um, I was diagnosed. The name of the failure is called tricuspid atresia, and I was diagnosed when I was 6 days old. And since I was 6 days old till the 6 years old, I was on a different treatment. And when I was 6 years old, I had a massive surgery that is called Fontan Kreutzer, where basically allowed me just to keep on going. I had serious symptoms before, like for example, when you go into the sea and it was very cold. I had my hands violet. I wasn't able just to breathe normally. I had, as a part of as a consequence of that heart condition, I got a clot on my head. So I had a surgery in my head, taking the clot out. So
What's that? A blood clot.
um, I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not very deep. So
Okay.
what is important the age is that first of all in Argentina technology wasn't what it might be right now, which is way more developed. But 46 years ago, it wasn't that relevant the technology, and it was only the talent of the doctors that appointed me to diagnose and treat me there. And but just to put you in context, when it was being conceived by my mother, the scans didn't exist. So that's how old technology was there. I mean,
This what was it? What didn't exist?
scans.
Oh,
When you scan,
scans.
yeah, scan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So the doctor just put in his ear on
Mm.
her belly to see how it sounded. So it was really really old time. So uh, technology wasn't on my side. So I got the surgery when I was 6 years old. Um, and after that surgery, which was a broken chest, like open it,
Mm.
14 hours surgery.
Wow.
And after that, I've been on treatment controls, but I actually have a very, very regular life. I can be more
Mm.
blessed on how natural life I'm having. I mean,
Yeah.
it's um, before I might probably had like when I was doing some exercise or something like that, I was getting very, very tired and exhausted at the very same time. And after that, I could actually start having again, as I said, a way regular life. I got to have some medications for life, and also at the very beginning, I had to take care on the how much salt I added to my meals, because the salt basically makes the heart work harder.
Okay.
So just reducing the amount of salt that you include in your meals, just it's easier for the heart. Things have changed on the last, I would say, 4 years that I've been dealing with this, and now technology has progressed in a way that you cannot even imagine, and
Mm.
having a better contrast or a better information from your heart, from your valves, from the whole body is now is a bit easier, more reliable, and also a community has been formed, so that information is also shared
Yeah.
among all the doctors, which everything that is done into a group is easier and more reliable than it's just one hero person that does the things. I have to say that I rely all my life in the doctors that have taken care of my life,
Mm.
the surgeon, the cardiologist that took care from me since I'm born. And then when I moved here to US, I switched a bit the set of doctors to came to local people here, and sorry, and they were really good. They made a lot of assessments, and I actually feel super great.
Mm.
So, and that's really the way. I don't feel 46. Well, I am, and
But you
well,
don't look
I'm.
it. That's probably why, because you feel so good.
Yeah, I take care a lot. I take care
Yeah,
a
no,
lot.
I mean, yeah, we will get onto how well, examples of how you've taken, oh yeah, how you've taken care of yourself. I've just got a few questions from there. So
Yeah,
you had this surgery at 6 years old. If you didn't have that surgery, would you have not survived?
probably no.
No, okay.
No, no one told me, but that's what
Oh yeah,
my
obviously at
conclusion would
six,
be.
yeah.
No, I can tell you that also from having this surgery, I'm one of the eldest persons that had it. So
Well, oh
I'm kind of making history on
yeah.
successful and on the success of this surgery.
So what? You were the oldest person to have the surgery. So
Not
no,
the oldest. It's from
or one,
Argentina. I think I'm the oldest,
yeah.
but from the world, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So most people usually have it when they're younger, the surgery.
Probably
Yeah,
I had the surgery when was recently created.
yeah.
Uh, so the surgery has been done by two doctors. One is Fontaine, and the other one is Kreutzer. The Kreutzer is the one, the surgeon that made the surgery to me. I mean, the person who
Mm.
invented the surgery is actually the surgeon that did it to me.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So how um and I understand if you don't know the answer to this, but how did your parents sort of, if because you were one of the you were the first in Argentina to get this, you were one of the first in the world to get this surgery. How did they come across like how did they find out about this doctor? And it must have cost a lot of money as well, and how did that come about?
So I got to my cardiologist. So there were two key people in the whole story: my cardiologist and then the surgeon, which is Kreutzer. The cardiologist had been referred by my uncle, who was a pediatrician by that time, and my uncle knew this person, so they referred to this person. That person is when I was 6 days old, diagnosed me with this heart condition, and my cardiologist brought me to the surgeon who actually made the surgery.
Okay.
In terms of money, I don't know, and it's not a question that I want to ask, but
No, yeah, no, of course, yeah.
I know that it's been on the table to have the surgery here in US by that time, but they figured out that they could do it there in Argentina as well.
Oh, okay.
So I had it there, and um, how my parents face that. I'm a father right now, and
Mm.
I honestly I can't deal with the fever with my children, and I cannot even imagine how they dealt with this. What I'm very
Wow.
thankful is that they raised me in a way that I'm feeling normal person, and they didn't just put me on the cotton clouds like
Yeah,
nothing happens to him, and I think I became a tough person.
yeah.
Thanks of
Especially
thanks of
from that,
them.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
knowing that you survived that would have given you some sort of resilience and motivation, because that's such a life-threatening position at such a young age. The fact that you survived that, it will almost give you that mentality of I can do anything now.
yeah.
And yeah, I
That's
think yeah,
exactly it.
yeah. Sort of to so your parents, are they still with you, or are they?
My father passed away about 20 years ago, and my
Oh, okay.
mother
Sorry
is
to hear
right
that.
here in US. She's
Oh,
originally
okay.
from Argentina, and
Yeah.
in the middle of the pandemic, we brought her here just to stay
All
with
right.
us and see
Yeah.
her grandchildren.
Because
So yeah,
it
she's
was.
right there.
So was it her first time in the US?
No, it was. She came here several times already,
Oh, okay, okay.
but
She's come.
this time she's staying longer.
So
She's
she must.
staying.
So she
Sorry.
must. Sort of when it comes to when it comes to her grandchildren, she must absolutely adore the fact that they're healthy, and they don't have you don't have to go through what she had to go through with you.
Well, when I was planning family with my wife, I asked the question to my cardiologist: what are the odds that uh, if I get children, they get the same heart condition I
Mm,
have? And he said basically, you had, let's say, 1% of having a heart condition from when you're born. Being your child will have 2%, so it's the double.
okay.
But still is a very low
Still
number, and
very low.
they're
Yeah, yeah.
fine. Yeah, and they are fine. They're fine. I mean, I got two daughters. One is 10, and the other one is 5. And
Mm,
then it's incredible the amount of energy they have, and the exercise they do, and that they really feel fine. So I'm very lucky on that one as well.
okay. So what's the coronavirus situation like in San Francisco then?
Um, I live in the suburbs, so as every part in US on the suburbs, it's easier because basically the density of the people aren't is not that big. I
Okay.
mean, there are all houses, no people walking around. So we had a couple of months where we were just home shelter here. No, not much going out. But
Okay.
nowadays, I can tell you that it's mostly, except restaurants and schools, the rest is working as business as usual.
Oh, okay.
And most of the places have adapted to how to deal with the virus. Now we're getting a lot of vaccines here. I think in California, where I'm living, there are about 5 million vaccines already uh, administered. I'm on a waiting list. I'm not in the last group. I'm not in the first group, but I'm not in the last group to
Oh,
get the
okay.
vaccination because my heart condition.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just waiting right now.
Yeah, okay.
But
You're just
it
waiting for the
should it
call. Yeah.
should be probably March. I should get
Yeah.
it.
Hopefully, yeah, as soon
Oh,
as
let's
possible.
see.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, so your daughters aren't going into school right now. Are you doing homeschooling with them?
Homeschooling. My wife
Yeah.
is the hero here because she's
You're just
willing.
surrounded with heroes, aren't you?
Yeah, but she's not from US. She's Argentinian as well, and
Okay.
she is teaching my daughter to read in English, and she's not an
Oh
English
wow.
person, so
Yeah.
it's
I can't
adds
imagine
a
that.
lot of challenge there.
Yeah.
And so let's
I
see.
wouldn't
But
be able to teach someone else English. So I mean, the fact that English isn't even her first language and she's
mm,
managing to teach it. Wow. Okay. So I mean, the main thing that I want to sort of talk about, and I've tried to hold the suspense as long as possible, but I really just want to ask you is, despite this heart condition, you've managed to complete 5 half marathons.
yes, I did.
How how did the or where did your desire to complete the first half marathon come from?
So I'm gonna expand on this. I think it started kind of a rebellion moment, like all the doctors saying you can't do exercise,
Mm,
and then yeah, why not? I'm feeling
yeah.
great. So there's one thing that my doctors took care of me, and was of the physical part, right? So they said, okay, don't consume salt, don't do this, don't do that, because the side effect would be this one, that one. And what I feel like it wasn't very addressed was the mental side. Like, it is a whole lot of burden to carry with this heart
Oh,
condition and that, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough. So when you're a kid, it's tough. You don't know how much you need to share. You don't know if you're gonna get bullied. You just don't know. So the mental part was really really tough. And one of the things I found out is that um, running, at least at the very beginning when I was way younger, I used to run a bit, and I felt like on the mind and the mental area really better.
mm,
So I found like a therapy just running.
yeah.
So I started running a bit just for fun. I was really interested on long distances, even when they weren't as popular as they are right now. So now it's everyone on the streets running. And in, let's say, 2014, I start taking it more seriously. I was a bit more overweight, and I lost uh, about, I don't know, kilos, pounds. What should I refer to?
So you can well, I use kilos, so but
Okay, well,
yeah,
I lost about 20 kilos doing
20
exercise.
kilos.
Yeah,
When was this again? So did you say 2014?
yes, mostly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Kilos.
start I start doing a bit of exercise, and I start running, and I start feeling great. And I was a bit overweight because social activities, wine. I was living in Argentina by that time.
Fining and dining in Argentina.
Wine and dining, a lot of barbecue. So
Oh,
friends.
I would love to go Argentina. I don't drink
So,
wine, but I just want to dine.
well, I'm not drinking more alcohol right now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but that time, hell, I did. Yeah. So, I started running. I started feeling really great. I finished one race that was 10 kilometers long, which is 10K. It's regular. It was okay. I was feeling really fine. And then I had the opportunity to come here to US to for a work opportunity, right? And I say, okay, I'll definitely taking it. I was looking for this opportunity for ages, so nothing was going to be in the middle. Like, so when before I just executed all my paperwork to come here,
Yeah.
I went to a doctor, to this guy, a Kreutzer, who did the surgery on me when I was 6. So I visited him when I was
Oh, wow.
40. So it was, yeah, it was
Wow.
interesting. He was really thrilled to see me healthy. And
Did he remember you?
oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Really?
did. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he did.
So 36
And
years later, and you met him. Oh, so what? So just to stop the running story just for a bit, what was that like when you met him?
well, it was, I have to admit, it was very, very emotional moment. And he had in that very room the people that helped him on the surgery. So it wasn't only him, but the rest of the doctors that actually helped him on the surgery, and they were just a really intense moment. I mean, intense in a very good way, emotional moment, and it was really really nice, really really nice. And they were basically, I was a success case. Basically,
Yeah.
after many years, they say, yeah, well, it did work what you did. So it was really really intense. the good thing is that I start talking to them and saying, "Yeah, I'm thinking about moving to US. I understand that the medical aid is completely different, so I want to understand what is the doctor I should meet when I'm here." And after having that kind of conversation, I start mentioning, "Yeah, well, you know what? I'm running. I'm a kind of runner, and I'm doing, let's say on weekends I'm running 10K." And he's like, "What? You're running? What are you doing? You want to die? Don't run." So to put you back in context, the guy who mentioned, so who created the surgery, was telling me that running would kill me.
Yeah.
So
The
it
guy who
was,
saved your life is now telling you to stop doing what you're doing
yeah,
because it's going to kill you. Yeah. Wow.
exactly. So it was very emotional in a good way at the very beginning, and I got really lost when I left the room,
What do you mean
because I
by
said,
lost? Were you just confused?
no, not confused, but it was. I mean, I was running about 3 4 days a week, and from
Okay.
one day to another, say, if you continue doing that, you're gonna die. So I have to make a choice at that time. So I stopped running. I
Okay.
moved here to US. No exercise, lots of stress on the work, and again, I gained a lot of weight until I met the doctor, the cardiologist that actually is I'm taking care with, and it, the doctor interviewed me, and he made 1,000 studies on me, which is regular for me. I'm
Mm.
used to,
Yeah.
and after that, he said, "Okay, Diego, you are overweight. You're drinking too much. You need to make a change of the lifestyle. Otherwise, it's you're gonna regret it." So what I did is, it took me about 6 months to that idea to kick in, and from one day to another, I stopped drinking. I mean, I wasn't a very heavy user drinking, a heavy drinker, but I had social moments where
Yeah.
uh, it was hard, right? And from one day to another, I remember when my last beer was. I was in Las Vegas in a conference. I said, "Okay, this is going to be my last beer," and it was. And
Oh,
this
wow.
was about, yeah, this was about 4 years ago already. Yeah, in
You
April.
quit cold turkey.
Yeah, just kill it. And I asked the doctor, "So can I do exercise? Can I run?" And he said, "Yeah, we got metrics here saying that 65% of the patients with Fontan-Kreutzer um, surgery, if they exercise, they feel better. So just do it." And little by little, I start running. And in the following visits to the cardiologist, he saw that I was losing weight, I was getting more fit, and I was getting there. And he congratulated me. So uh, he went from saying, "If you don't change your lifestyle, you're gonna regret it," to, "Hey, you're doing great. I'm amazed how you changed your lifestyle from stop drinking and to start losing weight and start doing exercise.
Yeah.
Your numbers are good." And one day to another, I said, "You know what? I want to run a half marathon." "Oh," he said. "I didn't see that coming."
Okay. So before
Was
you
it?
were just sort of casually running, and now you tell him that you want to run a half marathon, which is
Yeah,
what,
I
like
want to
20 kilometers?
21. Yeah,
21 kilometers.
yeah,
So it's
21.
nearly double what you were doing, like the 10 kilometers.
Well,
Okay,
the
yeah,
fact
fair enough.
ish, because I was running, let's say, 14, 15 kilometers
Okay.
on long runs.
Yeah.
So it was to add, of course, a lot,
Still a
six
lot
more
more. Yeah, yeah,
a
exactly.
lot, but I wasn't. It didn't feel like I was doing 3 kilometers and I wanted to do a whole marathon. The gap wasn't. It didn't sound like the gap was that big. So I
Mm.
just hit him, and so we started. He said, "Okay, we need to do a cath, which is you get basically a tube that is inserting your veins in your leg that goes towards the whole body to your heart, and that measures the pressure of the valves. And he said if that that exam goes okay, then you're free to run. And he did the exam. It's with anesthesia. It's very intrusive, painful, not nice at all. And the numbers came out well, and I start training. I got a friend that works with me, and he used to live here in Bay Area, who is an Ironman. And I mean, I
Oh,
was,
what, he's done the Iron Man.
yeah, he finished 4 Ironmans already. Yeah.
4
And
Iron Mans. Wow.
he works. I mean, the funny thing is that he works in an office from 9 to 5, right?
So just for people who don't know what an Iron Man is, can you just quickly
An
explain?
Ironman is a competence where it includes 3.8 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers biking, and then a whole marathon after that. So it means 42.195 kilometers. So I was, he trained me for my first half marathon.
Mm.
So it was very handy. Um, and so I started training with this guy, and I remember my first half marathon, and this wasn't like from one day to another. I started reading plans, and I started understanding how my body felt. It's the medicines I take, of course, impact the how my body reacts. Start learning about nutrition. So I took care of everything I could take care of, and exercises, discipline, 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 running. And what happening is that I signed up to a half marathon. I was scared to death, to be honest. And I was running. My pace is really really slow. I don't need to just. I'm not uh, professional, so I
Mm.
just take care. I know how many beats per minute I can have from my heart. I mostly learn how to measure the body to see the limit of it.
Yeah.
In a second. And just I went to a half marathon. The first half marathon I ran was on Las Vegas, one of the rock and roll half marathons, which is a very very nice event. And I finished it. I finished it. When the feeling I got when I was crossing the line after 2 hours and 46 minutes running, it was incredible. I say
Yeah.
I need to do. I was exhausted. I mean, I was really exhausted, and I said I need to continue doing that. And it was addictive. I mean, I started running with another friend here, and again, even though that I'm going into very very low pace, and um, it takes a lot of my time training and taking care of with the nutrition. It's for me it's um, on the mind. It's great what it does to your mind. I feel stronger. I feel great.
Mm.
And I usually say that the people who is healthy and don't do exercise or don't run, oh man, you don't know what you're missing. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
It's true.
So
It's to be fair, it's not even the physical benefits. It's the mental benefits. Because
mental, mental,
I run as
mental is
well. Well, I try to run as much as possible. So like 10 kilometers for me is like the best thing ever. When I do a 10 kilometer, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I'm king of the world once I do 10 kilometers. Yeah, I come back to my room. My legs are hurting, but they feel great at the same time. But it's the mental sort of benefits of not only when you finish, but also during it. When you sometimes you're running and then just for a moment the pain just goes away and you just feel so at ease and peaceful with your mind because you know what you're doing right now. You're doing it for you. That no one else is going to benefit from you doing that run.
mhm.
You're doing it for you. And I think that almost that selfishness is so peaceful because we do so much in our lives for other people. We work for other people. We might drive for other people. We might learn for other people. But this one thing is just for us, and it feels so good.
Yeah, and also work-wise, most of the issues that I had at work, I solved them running. Like, this is what I need
Oh,
to do.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
what I need to do. I need to get balls and do this,
yeah,
and then I execute it. And a lot of decisions that I've taken are uh, were taken while I was running, or
mm,
after a run when you get some peace of mind. But yeah, I don't know. I frankly it takes a lot. I mean, it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of effort. The pandemic just killed me because what I was doing was I was getting signed up on every race I could. So I forced myself to train.
yeah. Okay,
So and this one with the pandemic, I couldn't go out for a run. But I'm willing to run at least a race. I know this year you got the virtual races, but the virtual races aren't
they're not the
as
same.
fulfilling
Yeah,
as a regular. The
yeah. Well,
thrill and right.
hopefully soon you can get back to getting back on the track.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
can't wait. Can't
I
wait.
know. Yeah, no, I bet you. So you still sort of going out for runs, like to practice and stuff on the streets.
Oh yeah, yesterday I
Yeah.
ran 11 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
got it.
crazy. For me, that is long. I've never ran 11. The longest I've ran is 10 kilometers. Took me an hour and 15, I think, 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Um, and it was the best feeling ever. I've done it twice. And my legs were completely gone. So, I mean, the fact that you just, oh yeah, I just did 11 kilometers, just whatever, is just, is phenomenal.
well, yeah,
So, Diego, you've done what, obviously you've done one, you've done 5 half marathons. Now my question to you, I mean, I don't understand why anyone would want to do 1 half marathon, never mind 5. So after you've done the first one, wasn't there a part of you that went, right, I've proved all these guys wrong, I proved the surgeon that saved my life wrong, I proved everyone that said that I can't do it wrong, now I'm going to sit back, I'm going to get the wine, I'm going to get some cheese, I'm going to get some crackers, and then I'm just going to relax a bit? Why did you go on and do 4 more half marathons?
because I didn't need to prove anything. I just did it because I liked it.
Mm,
It's I mean, it wasn't like I just after I sent a picture to the doctors with a medal. It wasn't like, hey, take it, shove it. No, it's like I did because I wanted. I liked
But did
it.
you do that? Did you send it? Did
No,
you tell your? So, so your surgeon doesn't
no,
know.
no.
Oh, you need to tell him. You need to tell him that. Oh,
I'm not sure he's alive.
oh, okay. Oh, so he might have passed away.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
he passed away. Yeah, I'm not
uh,
sure, but I think he passed away.
yeah. Well,
But
you need to find out whether him or someone on his team is still alive, and tell them like, look, you know, this is what you've created. You've created a monster that's done 5 half marathons.
no, and the problem is that I'm not doing that just to show anything. It's because I want to.
Yeah,
It feels surprisingly great to cross the line, and not and the you cross the line and not. It doesn't need to be a half marathon. I mean, when you cross the line on any of the races that you train for, it's as great as a half marathon.
mm,
I mean, I got my medals here from the races, but yeah, I ran about I don't know on 10K races, another seven, something like that, and it's nice. The half marathon, of course, it's like it has a more impact because it's a really longer distance.
yeah,
But I honestly I didn't do them just to prove myself. It's because I like that.
yeah.
I really
You
like it.
enjoy doing it.
And my cardiologist, the one who's here, he said I shouldn't run for a whole marathon. Said half marathon is fine, whole marathon bad idea.
Oh, well, that was my next question. Is why haven't you gone for a full marathon? Is it because your cardiologist has said no, don't do it?
Yeah, and I had the policy of understanding what the doctors say and following by heart what they say. So
Okay.
as the person said, as my surgeon said, I shouldn't run, I stopped running, and this one mentioned that I should run, I run. He gave me the blessing for a half marathon. He didn't give me a blessing for a full marathon. So I'll follow what the
Mm,
doctor said.
yeah. So are you still like taking regular scans to see maybe you might be able to do a full marathon one day? Are you still hoping you might be able to, if you maybe carry on doing half marathons, loads of half marathons, and then maybe he might just go, you know what, Diego, you're ready for a full marathon?
I don't think
Or
that's going to happen.
you don't think it's
Because the how the issue is. I mean, it is not that it's healing during the time. It you can put it into the best moment, like I did with the half marathon, but I don't think that the heart is going to be prepared for something with that strong effort. So I'm not even considering that. I'm not going to push it. I mean, I can sign up on a marathon and run it. Then it's going to be on my own. But I think it would be irresponsible from my side to do that if I don't follow what the doctor said.
yeah,
So I'm not going. Of course, I would love to run the 6 Mayors marathon, but it is what it is. I'm super blessed and happy to run
yeah,
at least a half marathon as I can. But yeah, no, I'm what I'm doing is I keep on running just because it's healthier for me. It Since I started running here in US, I became healthier. Um, and it helps me a lot with my mind, with mental. So I'll keep on doing that. The medals of the half marathons and on the races, on 10K races, 5K races, they're just a nice reward for all
mm,
the effort that we silently do within the weeks. For example, here uh, I work um, I work with Latin America, so they are 5 hours ahead of me. So when I wake up, let's say at I don't know, at 7, it's noon there. So I
yeah,
try to get the most of my morning. So I start with phone calls about 6:30 and 7. So to be able to run, I need to wake up, let's say 4 a.m. Go out with my headlights,
yeah,
and just to train there and then get back, and I use my day. So it's a lot of effort.
yeah,
The races are kind of a reward of all the silent effort that everyone that races and
yeah,
runs have. So I'm really, again, I really enjoy it. And I found also that running is a very good moment to be alone. It's for myself. I can listen to whatever I want. I usually listen to different podcasts. I listen to music, depends on the day. And that's a moment where I don't have my children just jumping onto me, or receiving phone calls or doing it because everyone is asleep. So um, I,
silence, just pure
yeah,
silence.
it's silence. It's silence.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I have
really enjoy
gone.
that.
Yeah, I have gone on five a.m. runs, and they're the best things, and they're horrible to wake up to. When the alarm goes off, you really don't want to. But when you've got your running gear on, you've warmed up, and then you shut the door behind you and you just go for a run. Even for someone that's, the last 5 a.m. run I did, I was awful at running. I could barely do 4 kilometers. But doing those 4 kilometers, before going into school or before work or whatever, was the best feeling ever. And it whilst running as well, it just felt amazing. Having music on, or having a podcast. I mean, I mean, it's all well and good me explaining about. I mean, I've got you on. I want to ask you, for someone that, you know, for your regular person that say doesn't run, okay, for them the idea is often, why would you want to run? What's like it's what like even me. If you told me 4 years ago I'd be running a 10 kilometer, I'd be running 10 kilometers, I wouldn't have believed you. I was overweight. I really didn't like. I didn't want to move. Running was disgusting for me. Like, it would make me physically sick. We used to have to run 12 minutes non-stop in school every few weeks. It was like an assessment in PE in sport, and it was the worst thing ever. I would run 2 minutes and that's it. For the 10 minutes I just walk because I couldn't run. But now I don't understand why people like running. But for the people that are listening that can't imagine themselves running, what is it that makes running so beautiful and so great for you? How would you explain that feeling?
Well, first of all, I don't think you can explain it, and I don't think that to the running and the feeling of running is the same for everyone. So
Mm.
what I can tell you what is great for me. I mean, of course it has to be is very motivational for me. Every time that I go out for a run, um, I feel like physically I'm better than when it was before the run.
Yeah,
And this is because I still remember. I still remember when it was when I didn't have the surgery yet, and I was really getting tired just for doing nothing. And so it sounds like it, it, it sounds like I have to use the opportunity to that I'm having for run now that I do have it. Like
yeah, yeah.
I
Take
didn't have it
advantage of the fact
before,
that you
so
got it.
I know what it's not to have the
Yeah,
opportunity, and now I have it. I just do it. It has so many beneficials that medical beneficials that I honestly don't want to weight them in strong way, even though that they have them. But it's how you feel after. I feel happy after running
yeah.
when I come back, and it's not only what happens to your body. It's what happens to your uh, surroundings, like my daughters. Um, I come back from a run. They engage with the conversation of how many kilometers I ran or how do you feel. The other day, my 10 years old daughter came out for a run with me, and I know that is because they see me that I'm okay. I'm feeling happy with running, and I'm great that they embrace running as well. I mean, even my daughter that is 5 years old, a couple of times just mentioned to me that they want to run with me, and we did kind of a runs like 1 kilometer long, something like
Yeah.
that. And it's time you spend with them, and is very grateful.
Mm.
And so it's not only what it does to your body, but it's also what the way they engage with different people. I mean, we are talking here, the connection we got is running. It's a community as well,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of beneficials of belonging to a community that it's help each other. Because I know that I got friends that said, for example, if they are lazy in the bed, that says if Diego can go out for a run, even though that he has a malfunctioning heart,
Yeah.
what the hell am I doing here? I need to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's also motivation for other people. So
Yeah.
it's
It is. It is.
the feeling is great, not only because I enjoy the run, but it also you what you generate to other people. And it's not that I'm looking for to be an influencer of running, far from it, but the, my friends tell me that they say, If you can run, why I'm not running?" So
I
that's
mean, well,
a
you've
very
definitely
nice feel.
inspired me, Diego.
What?
You've definitely inspired me, Diego, to aim for that half marathon. I want to. I just need to really put in the effort. But you've inspired me, and I'm sure you've inspired the people that are listening, because it is an amazing story. To have experienced something at such a young age, to have survived it because of a miraculous surgery, to be the first one to get it in your country, and then to go on and to put on a load of weight, then to go into running, but then being told by the person that helped you, that kept you alive, that you shouldn't run, so you stopped running, put on a load of weight again, then you started running, and then you did 5 half marathons.
Yeah.
Is such an up and down story, and so it resembles life so well, because life is filled with ups and downs, but it's about keeping going and never stopping. It's like a half marathon.
Yeah.
About it doesn't matter how it's like it doesn't matter how quick you go, because we're all at our own pace. And you said it yourself. You're not the quickest runner. It's the fact that you kept on going despite the problems, despite certain people telling you that you can't do it, despite stressful times at work, despite the fact that you have kids. You still went and did it, and now your kids want to run as well, and they
Hmm.
want to join you. It's an amazing story to have, and I know I'm annoyed at myself for not going out on a run earlier before this, because I'm like, I should have gone. I was lazy and I didn't go because it was cold. But what's my excuse when this guy has a heart condition and you decided you wanted to go do a 21-kilometer run? I only had to do 5 kilometers and I would have been happy.
And you're younger.
I
So
mean, Diego,
no,
you look like the same age as me, man. You do not look 47.
well,
I can't believe it. You know when this call ended and we went to another one, I was thinking, how the hell is this guy 46 years old? And it's because it'll be because of the running, because and you know what, it'll be the physical benefits of running and the slight mental benefits, but then after the real mental benefits of after the running and what the impacts that running has, and that's what's kept you. I'm sure genetics has also played a part, but that's what's kept you looking young, because you do not look 46. I can tell you that. I'm sure you get
And
told that a lot.
well, what I did get tell is that I when I was overweight and I wasn't running, and then I started doing that, people saw a progress in me,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it wasn't something I was looking for, but people actually told me, yeah, you look younger. You definitely look
yeah,
younger
yeah.
right now. That because one of the things that the clients, and I think also this not drinking alcohol. That's something that improved my,
Mm,
let's say, my skin,
yeah,
my
yeah.
color. I got just tell you a story. Part of my job is to go to clients and dine and wine, as we mentioned before. And some of the clients met me and knew that I was like a heavy drinker. We were drinking them for
Mm,
hours. And one day to another, I said, yeah, I'm not drinking anymore. First of all, they laugh at me and say, yeah, how long are you going to
mm,
keep it? And then when they start seeing that I was losing weight and my skin was like a different color, I say, hey, well, man, yeah, you're doing good. And I get that. But there wasn't something like I was looking for, like approval. That I was just, I needed to change my lifestyle.
yeah.
Otherwise, the trade-off was going to be dreadful. So I had to do it.
I feel
And
like for you especially, yeah, because you survived this thing in earlier stages. If you do things now that will reduce your life or reduce or lead to an earlier death, it's almost going to be like it's going to be a bit of a it's going to be, you know what, it's going to be disrespectful to those surgeons and to your parents who went through all that for you to go, you know what, I'm just going to drink loads and smoke, or I know you didn't say that you smoke, but I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to look after myself.
another thing that happened is that when I had the surgery, no one knew about the secondary effects of surgery because it's a very invasive surgery, right? So no one knew about what was going to happen. And what did happen is that 20 years after, um, I started having arrhythmics, like when you have the heart is beating like uh, very, very fast.
Oh, your heart's yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, and that was a consequence about the surgery. And no one knew. And start having them. And I was hospitalized a couple of times, and the only way to put back on the heart pace was with well, electric shock, like
Wow, the
yeah,
resuscitators.
those ones, yeah, like
Yeah.
give me 50. Well, I had a whole anesthesia on me, and they shocked me with about 50 joules, which is the
Wow.
energy that they put on me, and that came back my heart to a normal rhythm. But I had several incidents with arrhythmics. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it okay, but arrhythmics. And then yeah, I've been hospitalized badly a couple of times
Yeah.
as a consequence of
So you
the
still
secondary
like
effect.
face difficulty and hardship even afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm part of the medication I'm taking is because they're arrhythmics and
Mm.
just controls the beats that don't go away. But yeah, so after surgery, it is not like nothing happened. I start having collateral effects
Yeah.
of the surgery, which also puts you in a not very motivated place, especially if you need to go to the hospital right now to get an electric shock to get you back at a normal pace. So it's not funny at all.
Mm.
But
Wow.
it's part of the story as well. Part of the story. Part of what I
Yeah.
had
No,
to
of
deal
course.
with.
Yeah, no, like I said earlier, it's such an incredible story. My second to last question is: so what's next? It would have been a marathon if you could have done that. What's next now for Diego?
No, I think that one thing is to run a half marathon, and the other thing is have the continuity to be healthy and
Okay.
keep on running as a way to get fit and start healthier. And that's I run the marathon, the half marathons, and then that's checked. What is not checked is to have the discipline and the continuity to uh, be healthier as long as possible and enjoy my family. So what wakes me up in the morning just to go for a run is just to understand that that's part of what I need to do to be healthy enough to enjoy my time with
Mm.
my family. That's
Have you?
yep.
What was that?
No, no.
No, I was just gonna say, have you ever considered doing something like? I know you said it's now about maintaining, being healthy, maintaining a good weight, so that you can, watch your kids grow, which I'm sure is a huge motivation, because you want to see that, you want to see your kids grow into adults and etc. Have you ever been sort of tempted by, those really long walks? Have you? I don't know if you've ever heard of I think it's called Santiago de Camino or something like that. It's a 250-kilometer walk, and the one of my previous guests, Peter Wright, he did it, and he was telling me about how amazing it felt during it, and it was such a good time to think. And he had his phone on him, but he didn't even look at it throughout the day. And it's 250. I don't know. I feel like you might be interested in like those really long walks that you can go on. You might
I've
want to check
never,
it
I
out.
never, I never looked for that. But one of my decisions were if I can run, if I still can run, I will run. When I can,
Okay.
when I'm not able to run, I probably walk. But so, for example, I got a friend here that is a very heavy golf player, and he
Okay.
said, "Yeah, let's go for a golf. I'm not very good at golf at all." And he said, "Let's go for a golf." And I say, "In the meantime, I can run. I will run. When
Yeah.
I only can walk, let's go do golf."
We'll do golf.
And
Yeah.
and again, I walk a lot here with my wife. Probably we go around the neighborhood and just walk a bit. My cardiologist here said that 20 minutes walking per day makes a whole difference that
Yeah.
if you don't walk. So even though that days I run, days that I run, I go after for a walk with my wife for 30 minutes, something like that, just to keep on doing that. And I really enjoy walking, but in the meantime that I'm able to run,
Yeah.
I will prioritize hardly all the running events than walking events.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't know, in 5 years I try to cross the whole Appalachians walking, but it's I'll try to I'll try to extend as long as possible the chance of at least running. I love it, just love
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, maybe when you're older or something like that, when you can't run, maybe you can do the 250-kilometer walk. I don't know. My final question to you, and it's the sort of final question I ask everyone that comes on, is what advice would you give to to young people, 17, 16 year olds, 18, 19 year olds? What advice would you give? And essentially, what advice would you give to the 19-year-old you back if you could go back in time?
To make to practice sports, it changes the quality of life. It just
Practice
changes the
sports.
quality of life.
Yeah.
Practice sports, whatever. I mean, one of the things that we decided with my wife, with our children, is just they have to practice sports. It's just that when I was young, I'm sorry, I might probably extend on this, but when
No, it's
was
all right.
young, my cardiologist didn't like the idea of practicing sports, and that became into my structure, my body structure is not super strong. And I know my wife, for example, who swam a lot while she was young. you look like she's strong. And I want my children, uh, they practice the sport they want. Probably they're some of them are good. I mean, people are good for team sports, other one for individual sports. I prefer the individual sport because I can compete with
Yeah,
her condition. So I isolate
it's
myself
better for
on
you. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm good with doing things alone. But sports, it's something that when you're a kid and you develop with practicing sports, you gain not only uh, a physical baseline that's going to help you forever, but also brings you, if you're practicing team sports, you learn to engage, to share, to be a team member. A lot of values appears on sports that are also applicable for the rest of the life. And if you're not a team member, I mean, if you're not into a team sport and you're a lone sport, well, you learn a lot about how to make yourself better.
Mm.
And it's also something that can be used not only for the sport, but also in the personal life. So I think that practicing sports is the biggest deal for me for young people. Not only for young people, but young people
For
it's
everyone.
it's for everyone. But the young people, when they practice sports, then they're gonna have a cognitive um, benefit while they grow up. So for me, is deal breaker.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Um, and well, that's kind of it. Diego, have you got any sort of? I mean, you said you've got a podcast. Do you want to like talk about that or plug it in quickly?
Well, I got the bummer is that it's not in English. So
Oh, is it not?
no,
Oh,
I'm not doing it in English. I'm doing it in Spanish. It's
oh, okay,
bit, it came up like I knew a lot of people with interesting stories to tell, and
okay.
just started interviewing them, having fun with them, and but it's in Spanish, so
Oh, all right.
don't
Well,
worry.
all right. Okay then. All right. Well, I guess that's it then.
And that is it for this week's episode of the podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was an unbelievable story. And honestly, I don't know how I'm going to ever come up with an excuse to get out of running or to get out of something that I really don't want to do. Diego had such a fascinating story, and it was definitely one of my favorite podcasts that I've ever done. I can't wait for you guys to see. I mean, well, you've already kind of seen it, I guess. But if you enjoyed it as well, then make sure you smash that like button. I can't believe I've just said smash that like button. Yeah, guess that's what people do. And let me know in the comments. It is very much appreciated. Stay subscribed. The new podcast every Sunday right here on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Join me next week as I sit down with a former Wall Street vice president. Yes, a Wall Street vice president. How did you get him on? You might ask. Well, you'll find out more in next week's episode. He tells me more about what it was like on Wall Street, but also he was actually there working on Wall Street during 9/11. And he was actually in the Twin Towers building the day before it collapsed. He tells me the story about how he thought he'd lost his girlfriend in the Twin Towers that the day because she was in there, or she was meant to be in there. What happened during the 2008 crash, financial crash, and so much more. So until next time, I don't know why I did that again. See you in a bit.